Lord, how it is a reflection of your providence and your providential power. And we thank you for the blessing that we as image bearers of you get to participate in such business. So Lord, I pray that the conversation tonight and the business at hand would be done in a way that glorifies you, is cordial, and is reflective of the heart of those who lead this city, that care for the citizens here, Lord, that we would see business done well and in an honorable way. So we thank you for all that you've given us. We especially thank you for Christ and the gospel message that is salvation and life by faith alone in Christ alone. And Lord, I just again pray that tonight would be done well. And Lord, that people might even see the Chiefs game. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Gabriel. Will the city clerk conduct a roll call of council members, please?
Councilman McGovern?
Yes.
Councilman St. John?
Yes.
Councilman Rennie?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear?
Yes.
Mayor Spawn?
Yes. At this time, we'll recognize any visitors who would like to address the council. Just as a reminder, this time is reserved for public comment addressed directly to the city council. Each speaker is limited to 5 minutes. Any agenda item which has a public hearing is opened, and comments on such item will be taken at that time. If you wish to speak to the council, please step to the podium, state your name and your address.
I'm Miranda Jameson. I'm with the Excelsior Standard newspaper. I live at 1128 Cordell Street. It's been brought to the newspaper's attention by multiple people that the latest pay scale adjustment that was recently passed is going to end up resulting in fire department personnel receiving a pay cut when it comes to holiday pay and overtime. I was wondering if the city is concerned about potentially losing decades of experience to save $50,000 in overtime from a budget of $3 million when the fire department also brought in over $1 million in revenue this past fiscal year.
Thank you for your comments. Any other visitors who would like to speak? Okay. Hearing none, let's begin by approving the minutes from our last 3 meetings. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the budget work session of September 10th, 2024.
Move to approve the minutes of the budget work session of September 10th, 2024. Second.
That was quick. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Minutes are approved. And now the minutes from the regular city council meeting of September 16th, 2024.
Move to approve the regular city council meeting minutes of September 16, 2024.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Minutes are approved. We'll move on to the minutes of the special city council meeting of September 27th, 2024.
I move that we approve the minutes of the special city council meeting of September 27th, 2024.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, like sign. Minutes are approved. And now I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as it is printed and presented before you.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented and printed in front of us. Second.
Roll call, Shannon?
Councilman St. John?
Yes.
Councilman Rennie?
Yes.
Councilman
Yes.
McGovern? Mayor Pro Tem Spear?
Yes.
Mayor Spawn?
Yes. Agenda is approved. The first 2 items on the agenda this evening are proclamations. The first one is the proclamation of the Knights of Columbus Tootsie Roll Drive, followed by a proclamation for National Code Compliance Month. So if I could have Brent join me in front of the dais, I'll present this proclamation to you. Knights of Columbus, join me right here where the camera can see us. Whereas the Knights of Columbus is a charitable, fraternal, and family organization that has done much to promote the dignity and welfare of the mentally challenged, and whereas the Knights of Columbus has made available diagnostic and therapeutic services to the mentally challenged at its development center, and whereas the Knights of Columbus also provides personal and financial support to local agencies working with these special people, and whereas the Knights of Columbus will hold its annual Tootsie Roll Drive on October 11, 12, and 13, 2024, with all proceeds to benefit the mentally challenged. Now therefore, I, Mark Spahn, Mayor of the City of Excelsior Springs, Missouri, do hereby recognize the weekend of October 11th, 12th, and 13th, 2024 as Knights of Columbus 52nd Annual Tootsie Roll Drive in our city, and call upon all of our citizens to support the Knights of Columbus in this most worthwhile and humanitarian effort of assisting those less fortunate than ourselves. So done this 7th day of October 2024. I present you, Brent, with this proclamation and my first donation to the boot.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for being here this evening. And now if I could have Trish Garino join me here to receive the proclamation for National Code Compliance Month. Whereas the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Excelsior Springs, Missouri is of utmost importance to the city, and maintaining clean, safe, and vibrant neighborhoods contributes to a higher quality of life for all residents. And whereas code compliance officers play a critical role in ensuring that our community remains a place of pride by enforcing ordinances related to property maintenance, zoning, building codes, and other regulations. And whereas the responsibilities of code compliance officers include addressing public nuisances, ensuring the safety of structures, and promoting environmental stewardship through the enforcement of municipal codes. And whereas code compliance officers engage in public education and outreach, collaborate with other city departments, and work closely with property owners to promote voluntary compliance, helping to keep Excelsior Springs a clean and desirable place to live and work. And whereas the month of October is designated as National Code Compliance Month to recognize the dedicated efforts of code compliance professionals across the nation who work tirelessly to protect public safety, preserve property values, and enhance the aesthetic appearance of our communities. And whereas it is fitting and proper to honor and celebrate the contributions of code compliance officers in Excelsior Springs, and to acknowledge their important work in ensuring our city remains a safe and thriving community. Now therefore, I, Mark Spahn, Mayor of the City of Excelsior Springs, Missouri, do hereby proclaim October 2024 as National Code Compliance Month in Excelsior Springs, and encourage all citizens to join in recognizing the outstanding efforts of our code compliance officer, and to support her commitment to maintaining the health, safety, and beauty of our community. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Excelsior Springs, Missouri, to be affixed this 7th day of October 2024. Trish, thank you. Thank you for your professionalism and your zeal for this position.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, agenda item number three, consideration of special use permit for the operation of a short-term rental at 205 South Kansas City Avenue. Ordinance number 24-10-01. Doug Hermes, our planning consultant, will present the details of this ordinance to the council.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members. The subject site is located within the city's downtown tourist area, defined in the city's short-term rental code, and therefore could be permitted outright if it met all the site standards. There's also no separation requirement for short-term rentals in the downtown tourist area. The proposed short-term rental could meet all of the site standards except for parking. There's no on-site parking. Currently, the site has been used as a long-term rental with on-street parking as permitted. City staff and the Planning Commission agreed that the change to short-term rental would not have that significant of an impact on the parking situation. During the public hearing, the applicants spoke of their plans. There were no other comments received at the public hearing or otherwise by city staff on the application. Following due consideration, your Planning Commission voted unanimously to recommend approval of the special use permit for an initial time period of 2 years. And we'd be happy to answer any questions.
Hearing no questions for Doug. An ordinance approving a special use permit for short-term rental in District R3 Cluster, Townhouse, or Garden Apartment District at 205 South Kansas City Avenue, City of Excelsior Springs, Clay County, Missouri. I'll entertain a motion to take ordinance number 24-10-01 to second reading.
I make a motion to take ordinance number 24-10-01, consideration of special use permit for the operation of a short-term rental in an R3 cluster townhouse or garden apartment district at 205 South Kansas City Avenue to second reading.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, Shannon.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilman McGovern,
Yes.
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn,
Yes. An ordinance approving a special use permit for a short-term rental in District R3 Cluster, Townhouse or Garden Apartment District at 205 South Kansas City Avenue, City of Excelsior Springs, Clay County, Missouri. I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 24-10-01.
I make a motion to approve ordinance 24-10-01, consideration of special use permit for the operation of a short-term rental in an R3 cluster townhouse or garden apartment district at 205 South Kansas City Avenue.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call, Shannon.
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilman McGovern,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn,
Yes. Ordinance is approved. Agenda item number 4 is consideration of special use permit for the operation of a tattooing establishment in the C2 General Business District at 463 South Thompson Avenue. Ordinance number 24-10-02. And again, Doug Hermes, our planning consultant, will deliver the details of this ordinance to the council.
Thank you, Mayor. Council members, City Code requires that a special use permit is necessary for an establishment engaged in tattooing, body piercing, or branding, and they're only permitted in the C2 and C3 zoning districts. And the special use permit may be valid for a period of 2 years. So this application came forward for the subject site located within a local historic district. The applicant is working with the Historic Preservation Commission on signage. During the public hearing, they presented their plans for their operation to the Planning Commission. The landlord provided some input and thought that she was very pleased with the applicant and their style and their proposal, and felt that a service business would have more opportunity in the location as opposed to a retail that they've tried in the past. There were no other comments received during the public hearing or otherwise to the city. After due consideration, your Planning Commission voted unanimously to recommend approval of the special use permit for the 2-year period. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
The only questions I had, I think we addressed them, was around some of the other obligations from the health perspective, which doesn't fall on the city. It's Clay County Health for CPR training, blood pathogen courses, those types of added to that type of a business. Is that correct?
That is correct. And as you mentioned, not under the purview of the city.
Okay.
And I think they did address working with the other agencies and interests that they would need to.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Hearing no other comments or questions, we'll Begin with the ordinances. This is a second reading. Requires two readings. An ordinance approving a special use permit for a tattooing establishment in District C2, General Business District at 463 South Thompson Avenue, City of Excelsior Springs, Clay County, Missouri. I'll entertain a motion to take ordinance number 24-10-02 to second reading.
I move that we take ordinance number 24-10-02, consideration of special use permit for the operation of a tattooing establishment in the C2 General Business District at 463 South Thompson Avenue to second reading.
Second.
Roll call, Shannon.
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Councilman McGovern,
Yes.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn,
Yes. And for the second reading, an ordinance approving a special use permit for a tattooing establishment in District C2, General Business District at 463 South Thompson Avenue, City of Excelsior Springs, Clay County, Missouri. I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 24-10-02.
Move to approve ordinance 24-10-02, consideration of special use permit for the operation of a tattooing establishment in the C2 General Business District at 463 South Thompson Avenue.
Second.
Roll call, Shannon.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilman McGovern,
Yes.
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn,
Yes. Ordinance is approved. Number 5, 6, and 7 are related, and so I'm going to call them by name, and then we're just going to have Doug read the entire ball of wax all at one time, and then we will vote on each ordinance individually. So number 5 is consideration of vacation of right of ways at Lookout and Haines Street, ordinance number 24-10-03. Number 6 is consideration of preliminary final plat approval for Hunleth Addition, Lot 1A, located at Lookout and Haines Streets, 414 Lookout, ordinance number 24-10-04. And number 7 is consideration of special use permit for the operation of camping facilities in an R2 two-family residential district at Lookout and Haines Streets, ordinance number 24-10-05. Doug, explain all of this to us.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, council members. All applications related, as you mentioned, leading toward a proposal for a camping facilities, which by city code requires a special use permit due to its unique nature based on location and operation. The first step is the vacation of certain right-of-ways within old subdivision plats and city blocks at the corner of Lookout and Haines Street. The area was platted some time ago, yet never developed. The purpose of the vacations is to allow the property to be combined into one lot, which will be considered separately with the preliminary and final plat application. The subject right-of-way staff feels is not necessary for the current operation or future expansion of the city's public street systems. It consists of right-of-way for one street and 2 alleyways. The public notice procedures have been satisfied, and city staff has confirmed that no public infrastructure or utilities are located within or planned for the existing public rights-of-way. During the public hearing, the applicant introduced herself, introduced her concept, and requested a positive consideration of this first step. There were no other comments received during the public hearing or to city staff by other means. Your planning commission, upon consideration, voted unanimously to recommend approval of the rights-of-way vacation. The next application was a combined preliminary and final plat to take all of the property owned under the applicant's ownership and place them into one lot for the purposes of the camping facility, and then propose the special use permit, which will be considered separately. All of the public utilities appear to be in place for this property to support the development and use of the property. It is not anticipated that the current subdivision design and current plat would ever be developed in its current design. and the development does not require additional improvements to public water or sanitary sewer. The preliminary and final plats conform substantially to the comprehensive plan and do comply with the city's subdivision regulations. Your planning commission considered the application and voted unanimously to recommend approval of the combined preliminary and final plat application. The third application was for the special use permit for the camping facilities. Staff report refers to the operation as enhanced camping. The applicant said, well, it's glamorous camping, so it's glamping. The application would propose operation of a camping site. My apologies. A certain number of sites for tents, tree houses connected by a 6-foot mulch walking path around the entire camping area, a store, bathhouse, a small parking area for 12 vehicles, a fire pit, play area, and then a house and office, all on the one lot, all for the one operation. Staff felt and told the commission that the proposed special use permit could be compatible with the surrounding properties if operated in an appropriate manner. And the planning commission held a public hearing, and the applicant presented her concept in more detail to the commission, answered several questions regarding the operation. One neighbor spoke at the public hearing, had some questions regarding impact on the surrounding neighborhood. The commission and staff answered questions at the end of the public hearing, noted that this use is relatively low impact, and the traffic should not increase substantially over what it would normally be for a few houses on the property. Stormwater management will be addressed with the final development approval, and a stormwater management plan is required for all development. In this case, again, relatively low impact, so it would probably not require on-site detention, but just looking at the drainage flows coming from the improved areas, the small parts of the improved areas. There's also a question about the noise, and city staff responded that the city does currently have a noise ordinance, and we felt that that would be appropriate enough to, if the neighbors had any concern, they're always welcome and encouraged to contact the city to express their comments. Your planning commission held the public hearing with the applicant speaking and the one resident. No other comments were received by the city. Your planning commission then considered the proposal and voted unanimously to recommend approval of the special use permit for an initial 2-year period. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I know that during that comment period, the one neighbor had expressed concern about the parking, but then there was referenced about 30 parking spaces. I didn't see that in the drawing. It looked like maybe 12.
That's what we anticipate, 12 parking spaces.
Okay. Doug, my understanding is the owner will live on site.
That is what she proposes. Yes, sir.
Any other questions for Doug? All right, we will take these in order. We'll begin with number 5. Again, these are all ordinances. Will require 2 readings, so we'll begin with number 5. An ordinance vacating a certain public rights of way in the Hunleth Edition and Bates Second Edition subdivisions in the city of Excelsior Springs, Clay County, Missouri. I'll entertain a motion to take ordinance number 24-10-03 to second reading.
I move we take ordinance number 24-10-03, consideration of vacation of right-of-ways at Lookout and Haynes Streets to second reading.
Second.
Roll call, Shannon?
Councilman McGovern?
Yes.
Councilman St. John?
Yes.
Councilman Rennie?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear?
Yes.
Mayor Spawn?
Yes. An ordinance vacating a certain public rights of way in the Hunleth Edition and the Bates Second Edition subdivisions in the city of Excelsior Springs, Clay County, Missouri. I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 24-10-03.
Move to approve ordinance 24, TAC 10, TAC 03, consideration of vacation of right-of-ways at Lookout and Haynes Street.
Second.
Roll call Shannon?
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilman McGovern,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn,
Yes. Ordinance is approved. And now number 6 on the agenda, ordinance number 24-10-04. An ordinance approving a preliminary plat and final plat for Lot 1A, Hunleth Edition, a subdivision in the city of Excelsior Springs, Clay County, Missouri. I'll entertain a motion to take ordinance number 24-10-04 to second reading.
I move that we take ordinance number 24-10-04, consideration of preliminary final plat approval for Hunleth Edition, Lot 1A, located at Lookout and Haynes Streets, to second reading.
Second.
Roll call Shannon?
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilman McGovern,
Yes.
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn,
Yes. And for the second reading, an ordinance approving a preliminary plat and final plat for Lot 1A, Hunleth Edition, a subdivision in the city of Excelsior Springs, Clay County, Missouri. I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 24-10-04.
I move we approve ordinance number 24-10-04, consideration of preliminary final plat approval for Hunleth Edition Lot 1A, located at Lookout and Haynes Street, 414 Lookout.
Second.
Roll call Shannon?
Councilman McGovern,
Yes.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn,
Yes. Ordinance is approved. And agenda item number 7, ordinance number 24-10-05. Whoops, fat thumb there.
Oh, take your time.
Yeah.
You want me to read it?
An ordinance approving a special use permit for a camping facility in District R2, two-family residential district at 414 Lookout Street, City of Excelsior Springs, Clay County, Missouri. I'll entertain a motion to take ordinance number 24-10-05 to second reading.
Make a motion to take ordinance 24-10-05, consideration of special use permit for the operation of camping facilities in an R2 two-family residential district at Lookout and Haynes Streets to second reading.
Second.
Roll call Shannon?
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Councilman McGovern,
Yes.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn,
Yes. And for the second reading, an ordinance approving a special use permit for a camping facility in District R2, two-family residential district at 414 Lookout Street, City of Excelsior Springs, Clay County, Missouri. I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 24-10-05.
I move we approve ordinance number 24-10-05, consideration of special use permit for the operation of camping facilities in an R2 two-family residential district at Lookout and Haynes Street.
Second.
Roll call Shannon?
Councilman McGovern,
Yes.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn,
Yes. Ordinances are approved. And just a public comment, I looked through the pictures and the diagrams. This looks like a delightful area. I can't wait for
Very well
the
thought out.
build out. All right. Agenda item number 8, easement of vacation, consideration of easement vacation along Vintage Drive, Vintage Plaza Lot 15A, ordinance number 24-10-06. Again, Doug, you are earning your keep tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council members, this particular lot in the Vintage Plaza subdivision has been re-subdivided in the past in response to particular development plans, and at a certain point, this 10-foot utility easement was dedicated to the city. But that development did not occur, and the extension of the sanitary sewer did not occur. The applicant is now proposing a new administrative lot split to divide 15A into 2 new lots. Each new lot will have direct access to public utilities and improved streets. and that dedicated 10-foot sanitary sewer easement is no longer necessary. City staff feels that it's not necessary for the current operation or future expansion of the city system, and public notice procedures have been satisfied. City staff confirmed that no public utilities are currently located within the easement. During the public hearing, the applicant's representative shared some initial thoughts on their plans for the site and just noted that that easement was not necessary to support their new development proposals. Upon due consideration, your planning commission voted unanimously to recommend approval of the vacation petition. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Did I understand correctly that there is a line that's already in that easement at this point that will be
No, I'm
abandoned?
sorry, there's not a line within the
There's not,
easement.
okay.
Yeah. And there are no other utilities that city
Okay.
staff
Yes,
confirmed.
there is a line.
There is a line there.
I'm sorry.
Okay. There is a
Okay.
utility line
Okay.
that will be abandoned.
Okay, okay.
That is not necessary for the operation of the system or
Okay.
the development of the site.
Okay.
My apologies.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions for Doug?
Okay, thank you.
All right. An ordinance vacating a sanitary sewer easement in Lot 15A, Vintage Plaza, a subdivision in the city of Excelsior Springs, Clay County, Missouri. I'll entertain a motion to take ordinance number 24-10-06 to second reading.
Move to take ordinance 24 TAC 10 TAC 06, consideration of easement vacation along Vintage Drive, Vintage Plaza, Lot 1.5A. To second reading, sorry.
Second.
Roll call, Shannon?
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Councilman McGovern.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn,
Yes. An ordinance vacating a sanitary sewer easement in Lot 15A, Vintage Plaza, a subdivision in the city of Excelsior Springs, Clay County, Missouri. I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 24-10-06.
I move that we approve ordinance number 24-10-06, consideration of easement vacation along Vintage Drive, Vintage Plaza, Lot 15A.
Second.
Roll call, Shannon?
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilman McGovern.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn,
Yes. Ordinance is approved. Moving right along to number 9, consideration of application to the city to amend chapter 400.130 R4 medium density residential district in the zoning regulations pertaining to multifamily residential housing of the city code, ordinance number 24-10-07. And I believe this is your final presentation to us, Doug.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, and a short one. This is an item that was initiated by the city, is considered by the Planning Commission with a recommendation to the City Council. The City Council remanded it back to the Planning Commission for further consideration. The Planning Commission considered this at their last regular session, held a public hearing, received public comments, and made a recommendation to the City Council. At this time, city staff would like to address some of the public comments through additional review and consideration, specifically on how best to perhaps bring density into the discussion of the permitted uses in the R4 district. So city staff would suggest that the City Council, again, remand it back to the Planning Commission for further consideration.
Any questions or discussion? I will entertain a motion to remand ordinance number 24-10-07 back to, this is an ordinance, does it still require second reading, Paul? Okay,
Just the
to
motion.
remand it. Entertain a motion to remand ordinance number 24-10-07 back to Planning and Zoning Commission.
I move that we remand it back to planning and zoning. I guess my only question is, does that come with instructions of specific things for them to consider? Is that city staff and others involved in that conversation? Will they, I know, having said in that meeting, there was a little bit of question about why we were sending it back to planning and zoning. So I just wanted to be sure that they understand what the specific items are in question.
Very good question, council member. I was not at the last meeting where it was remanded the first time. And so your director of community development and I were developing that, the reason why, which we think we conveyed to the commission. At this point, we understand what our concerns are, well, not our concerns, but what we'd like to address to better have that discussion, again, on the density level, options for permitted uses, and that's what we'll share with the commission.
Okay, perfect. So then I would make that motion that we send this back to planning and zoning pending conversation with staff.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, Shannon?
Councilman McGovern,
Yes.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn,
Yes. Ordinance number 24-10-07 is remanded back to planning and zoning for further discussion pertaining to density. Number 10 on the agenda is consideration of amendments to the personnel policies of the City of Excelsior Springs, ordinance number 24-10-08. Molly McGovern, our city manager, will deliver details of this ordinance to the council.
Included in the recent adopted budget was a change to the formula for calculating the overtime rate for assistant fire chiefs assigned to a 24-hour shift. This position will receive a 5.6 to 12% increase in their base salary, and a change in the number of annual hours from 1902 to 2920 for the purpose of calculating the overtime rate. The personnel policy amendment is provided to clarify how this compensation change is structured.
Any questions for Molly? Hearing none?
I do. My understanding, Molly, is that when we looked into surrounding communities, we went out quite a bit. That 2920 is the standard.
So when you look at 365 days a year divided by 3, because there are 3 shifts, they work 24 hours, then they're off 48, that 365 days divided by 3 times 24 is 2920.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? An ordinance approving amendments to the personnel policies of the City of Excelsior Springs, Missouri. I'll entertain a motion to take ordinance number 24-10-08 to second reading.
Move to take ordinance 24-10-08, consideration of amendments to personnel policy of the Excelsior Springs, Missouri to the second reading.
Second.
Roll call, Shannon?
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilman McGovern,
Yes.
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn,
Yes. An ordinance approving amendments to the personnel policies of the City of Excelsior Springs, Missouri. I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 24-10-08.
I move that we approve ordinance number 24-10-08, consideration of amendments to the personnel policies of the City of Excelsior Springs.
Second.
Roll call, Shannon?
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Councilman McGovern,
No.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn,
Yes. Ordinance is approved. Our final agenda item is transmittals for today's meeting. Molly, do you have some information for us?
The transmittal pertains to the progress on Meals on Wheels. Jesse Hall and Taryn Sobova came to our meeting last week to give us an update on their work on bringing Meals on Wheels back to our community. So they are very pleased with the progress they're making, believe that it is their goal to start their program March 1st in '25, and they are right now working out all the final details that involves what it would take to have a good log of volunteers that will be able to deliver the meals. They have a plan and a backup plan and a backup plan for who will prepare the meals, and they're also working on what some of the funding possibilities are to support that program. So we're very excited about what this will mean for the community. As it is now, they receive 10 meals, one visit with 10 meals that are frozen, and then it's up to them to be able to unpackage those meals and use a microwave to prepare those meals for themselves. And we know from our past that if you get a daily visit or at least one visit Monday through Friday, there's possibilities that does for a person that allows them to stay in their home longer, and just a variety of things that contact does. So we're very excited about that program.
Yeah, and I know in conversations with Jesse and Taryn, it goes beyond the meal.
It
Right,
does.
the meal is the entree, no pun intended, but it's the social interaction, it's
It
the
is.
wellness check, it's the looking around at,
Yeah.
do they need other help, resources, home repairs, so.
And some,
I think it'll be a tremendous benefit.
Some are unable to do unpackage,
Yeah.
so depending on what a disability might be, maybe not be able to read the package. So there's lots of things that this brings value to.
Yeah,
It's a hot
agreed.
meal, so we're very excited about moving that back into the community.
Anything else, Molly?
No, thank
Okay.
you.
All right, we'll begin with remarks from council. We'll start with Councilman St. John.
Just to acknowledge the McAwee family and the Excelsior Springs School District for providing land and equipment for a new park here in the downtown area, which is really neat that people can come together and develop a small, it's not a huge area, but it's going to be used, I'm absolutely sure.
Great little park. That's my grandson's favorite park. He's always called it Church Park. All right, we'll go to the other end. Councilman Rennie.
So I was excited to drive down Tracy today and see some dirt being moved at the flats at Coach Crossing.
Yes.
Starting to see some work being done there. So.
Very good. Councilman McGovern.
Good evening, Mayor.
Evening.
I would like to request that you schedule a retreat of the council members sometime in the fairly near future. I'm not talking about an all-day event, but just a couple of hours so we can talk over a few issues.
Sounds like a good plan. Supported by Arda?
Yeah, that's for me.
I would pick a night that it's a Chiefs game.
Absolutely.
Well, you're gonna have
Just
an
for
opportunity.
John.
How about this evening at 7:20?
Yeah.
You
Right
gotta
after
give
closed
24
session.
hour notice. That's it.
Maybe not. Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Spear.
Nothing else this evening.
All right. I have no comments further this evening. So with that, I will entertain a motion to go into closed session pursuant to sections 610.021.1, 610.021.9, and 610.021.12 RSMO.
I make a motion to close the meeting pursuant to section 610.021, paragraphs 1, 9, and 12 of the revised statutes of Missouri.
Second.
Notice how he combined those numbers. Roll call, Shannon.
Didn't do me any good.
Councilman McGovern?
Yes.
Councilman St. John?
Yes.
Councilman Rennie?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear?
Yes.
Mayor Spawn?
Yes. Meeting is closed.